Grosh told me over a few beers that you had a thing with someone from Horshan, and your husband got battered because of it.
Merciful Mary, so Grosh has been blabbing about me to God knows who. The shame of it. I'll have you know I did no such thing. I'm an honest woman.
My apologies. I'm merely repeating what I heard. So how are things between you?
There's a powerful protective charm I desperately need. A Thunderstone. It's a great rarity. But Thomlin Bruthans from Horshan has one. He just won't let me have it. The thing is, he sometimes wages it in fights.
I see. Now it all makes sense to me. So that's why your husband fought him.
Exactly. You see, nothing dishonest. But Stimir is feeling ashamed that young Bruthans gave him a thrashing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you want me to fight Thomlin and win the stone for you?
Well, yeah. And I know I'm asking a lot, but I'm really desperate. And I have no one else to turn to. I prayed fervently to the Virgin Mary and implored her for help. And now you've shown up. Besides, you're a born warrior by the looks of you. Twice as tough as those guards at the ironworks who do nothing but swill Grosh's beer all day. Some landowner's coddled son is no match for you, I'll wager.
What is a Thunderstone?
Well, they're formed when there's a violent storm with forks of lightning and peals of thunder. The biggest of these are Thunderstones. They fall from the sky with a mighty boom and burrow deep into the earth. After a while, they work their way back up to the surface. And if you're lucky, that's where you'll find them.
What can these stones do?
Well, lots of things. If you have one, it protects you from all harm, helps you in battle, and brings good luck. It also wards off and cures diseases. And if you put it into the rafters of your cottage, you'll be protected from fire and all manner of other calamities.
What does the Thunderstone look like?
Well, from what I saw of Thomlin's, it's the size of a grown man's fist, perhaps a tad bigger, sort of elongated and curiously shaped. It's flat on one side and has a round hole through the middle.
Why are you so desperate for this piece of rock?
That's my business.
Look, if I'm to help you, I need to know what you're going to do with this stone. I don't want to get caught up in any witchcraft.
This is no witchcraft. It's just... Fine. Listen, I'm afraid for my child. And myself. All my babies died shortly after birth. Bless their souls. And birthing is very hard for me. I nearly died last time. The stone has the power to help me and protect my next infant. That's why I want it.
All right. I'll help with your trouble.
Mary, Mother of Mercy, thanks be to the both of you. This means so much to me.
Save your thanks for when I bring it to you.
I shall. Don't you worry about that. We've got some groschen put by, so you'll be handsomely rewarded. I'm also on good terms with Hannah, so I could put a word in for you at the stud farm. She'll give a generous discount if you want to buy a horse from her. And I'll pray and intercede for you, I swear.
All right. You have yourself a deal. I'll go to Horshan and take on that Thomlin fellow.
God bless you. The Bruthans have a big farm. There's a wayside shrine in front of the gate and an orchard out the back. That's where you should find him. But be careful and don't underestimate him. The stone has great power and it won't be easy. Take care now.
Hey! Sling your hook!
I saw nothing. I was never here.
Scared shitless. Now you're gonna die! Fuck you!
At your service, sir.
Greetings. Do you need something?
Hey, Thomlin. People around here tell me you have a Thunderstone.
People say all sorts of things.
They also say if I beat you in a fight, it's mine.
Those days are over. There was a time I'd put it up for grabs in fights with cocky fools. That much is true. I even had a couple of craftsmen come from the Berg to try their luck. But everyone got a thrashing. Well, then I decided to retire. It didn't seem right, and my conscience was getting the better of me. But I have a proposition for you. The local lads like to practice their fighting moves while I watch over them. So if you fancy a fight and don't mind getting a bit dirty, you can join in and show us what you're made of.
Look, that's all very well, but it's you I'm here to fight. For the Thunderstone.
Fuck's sake! You're a bleeding half-wit, aren't ya? Let's try again. I'm not fighting for the stone anymore. I found it. It's mine. I'm keeping it.
Tell me more about the fight.
Ask away.
What fighters do you have here?
Stanley is the strongest. He works on the farm and's quite a big mouth on him, but he has the strength of two men. After him, Tuma, a farmer from across the way. He's quite a bit older than me, but don't let that fool ya. He has a steady hand and bloody good aim with it. And last and maybe least is Darling.
Darling?
He's kind of like the local buffoon. His name's Tobias, but everyone just calls him Darling. When he was a wee lad, he fell on his head from a rotting ladder, and he's never been the same since. He takes care of his aunt's horses and dogs in Grund.
He doesn't sound like an opponent to be feared.
Because he isn't. He's quite a lout, but he doesn't know the first thing about fighting. He hasn't won a single fight. But it's not that he doesn't try.
Where do your fights take place?
That old Chuchas.
And who might that be?
Chucho is our hog. We fight in his pen. He doesn't care. He always just hides in his pigsty.
I reckon I can find that.
I'm certain you can. Just follow your nose.
Can I get involved too?
Why not? It'll be good to have some new blood, and maybe you'll learn something from each other. Do you have any experience?
Well, I haven't won any tournaments here yet, but I've knocked a few people around.
Well, you'll see if that'll be enough.
And if I manage to beat them all?
Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Darling may be a bumbler, but Stanley and Tuma are no pushovers.
Well, if you pull it off, you certainly won't come up short.
Good day.
So, Tobias, do you enjoy fighting?
Do I know you?
I'm Henry. Young Bruthan's told me you're learning to fight. How are you faring?
Well, it's not going so well.
You don't have to do it, you know. What do you get out of being beaten time and again?
I have to. I have to beat Stanley. So they'll leave me alone.
What does he do to you?
All kinds of things. He says I'm an idiot. Sometimes he comes to Grund and causes trouble, scaring the horses, and he beat up my dog. Better limp for days, and now he's afraid of strangers.
Well, you can defend yourself, but how can a pooch know he has to? Did he bite him at least?
Better? No, he's too nice to ever bite anyone. He runs away instead. But Stanley drove him into the corner of the stable.
People like that make me see red. Well, how about trying your luck against me?
Why not? Do you have any money? We can bet, and whoever wins gets everything.
That sounds good. I agree.
Get ready then. Well, I lost again.
Thanks for the fight.
Yeah. Oh, and this is yours. Take it all. Now you can challenge Tuma. I like him. He's funny and kind. Not like Stanley.
Now me.
You look like a merry bloke. What do you like about the fights?
I'm a simple man. I like a good laugh, and sometimes I like to punch someone.
That's it.
I swear, I do it because I enjoy it. That's not so strange, is it?
Shall we fight?
But of course. And before we get started, let's bet.
If you say so. Here you go.
Thanks very much. And now fight.
You call yourself a fighter?
I feel quite hungry!
Gosh, I feel like I've been split in half.
Thanks for the fight.
Aye, you're welcome. I should be thanking the big man on the sky that I can still walk. Here, take it all and don't spend it at once.
Thanks.
Well, do you feel up to it?
Why are you always picking on Tobias?
Just take a look at him. If he was any dumber, he'd be eating out of a trough with the pigs. Do you know he talks to animals? He talks to his mutts like they understand him. He'd be better off barking and pissing on the fence like them. But when we manage to get him drunk, now that's fun.
Tobias goes drinking with you?
No, but all you have to do is give him wine and tell him it's apple cider. A little of that and he's completely wasted. Then you should see the shit he gets up to. The last time that idiot almost drowned because he went to fish the moon out of the pond. We told him it was a silver platter.
Find something better to do and leave Tobias alone.
Mind your own business. I reckon that moron doesn't even know when someone's yanking his pizzle. Lord knows if there's anything left in that hollow of his.
Do you want to fight?
Sure, I could go for one. Do you have money to bet?
Of course.
I'm glad to hear it. Get ready and we can get started.
Come on! How's your sister? know if she's feeling better.
It was nothing.
Sacre! I reckon I cut off more than I could chew. You really know how to fight.
Thanks for the fight.
Here's your bet, and a little on top. I don't like giving it up, but I keep my word. And don't forget to go and see Thomlin. His jaw's gonna drop when he hears some out of town and kicked all our asses. Greetings!
God be with you.
I beat all your men.
Well, I'm jiggered. But I'm impressed. You're good. Here you go. We know how to appreciate a good fighter here. Not long ago, I heard the hired hands in Miskovitz spend the long hours away by fighting. You can go see for yourself if it's true.
That sounds quite good.
And in Kuttenberg, they fight in a tavern called the Hole in the Wall.
The name suits it perfectly. So don't expect to be treated kindly.
That sounds worse. But I'll see. Maybe I'll go there and take a look sometime.
Oh, by the way, Darling was looking for you. Go and see him. He'll be glad. Good day to you.
You know, about that Thunderstone,
What now?
I challenge you to a fight. Let's fight for the Thunderstone. Or have I made you shit your brays?
The only shit being spouted here is from your mouth. You know you can't win, don't ya? No one's beaten me for as long as I can remember. And besides, I have the stone. So just back off and forget about it. I'm doing you a favour, because I want to spare you the embarrassment and some pretty fucking painful bruises.
Look here, big man. I kicked the arses of Stanley and all the others here. With my finger up my nose at that. So I reckon you'll be soft as shit too. But to give the devil his due, I'd still like to find out for myself.
Yeah, I get it. You're provoking me. Nice try. All right, have it your way. If there's one thing I really hate, it's arrogant, cocky outsiders who think they know it all. Prepare for a beating. You know the rules. No armour. Strip down to your waist. Then we'll meet in the pen, you'll place your wager against the stone, and then you'll get an arse kicking.
I'm ready for this. How about you?
Always.
You've got the stone?
Don't you worry about that. I don't expect to part with it anyway. I'm looking forward to taking your coin instead. Have you got enough?
Here it is. I'm no cheat.
Trust, but back it up with proof, I always say. Well, we have everything we need. Let me just take off my coat and we'll get started. I'm just getting started. Useless. You've got a lot to learn.
Come on, move, you snail, like little girls. You fight like little girls. Granny.
Give it all.
Give it to your god.
I'm just getting started. Go fuck yourself. You've got a lot to learn. Useless.
Give it all you got.
Wipe the floor with him! You!
Wipe the floor with him. Wipe the floor with him. Show him what for. Give it all you got.
Little girl!
Show him what for. Show him what for. Show him
Useless.
Wipe the floor with him. My granny can put harder than you.
Show him what for! You call yourself a fighter? Knock him down! Come on! You snails!
For.
The Lord be with you.
I beat you. The prize is mine.
Yeah, you did. But it was close. I almost had you myself.
Close? Not one bit. I was all over you from the start.
Bollocks you were. You're just lucky I fucked up my back yesterday.
No need to be so upset. It's not so bad. Just a little embarrassment and a few bruises, right? But let's not waste time. You owe me my money back and the stone along with it.
You'll get your money back, goes without saying. Here you are.
Perfect. What about the stone?
Well, I can't give you that. Because I don't have it.
What? But the stone was your stake.
No, it wasn't. It was your idea that if you won, I'd give you the stone. I didn't actually promise you anything like that.
You're right, you know. Maybe you didn't actually put it that way.
See? I'm honest as they come. I suppose it was a bit sneaky of me. But what the hell? I figured if you were up for a fight, I'd at least make a groschen or two out of it. I just wasn't expecting to lose. That's all.
But people said you have a Thunderstone. So it's all horseshit.
No, it wasn't made up. I really did find a Thunderstone. And I had it right up until the other day when it was stolen. I didn't want word to get out because I'd look like a right fool. So I acted like nothing happened. I'm sorry for leading you on. I didn't mean any harm.
And do you have any idea who might have stolen it from you?
If you ask me, it was that Hensel from Rabosh and his little mate Peter. They were ever so curious about it right before it disappeared.
And you didn't do anything about it?
Of course I fucking did. I went to wring their necks, but they disappeared like the steam from my piss. They must have seen me and bolted, which only confirmed my suspicions. I haven't had any luck finding them since then, though, and I don't have time to chase them around the countryside. I have the farm to take care of.
All right. I'll have a look for them.
Well, when you get to Rabosh, take the main road away from the fortress until you reach the first farm on the right. There are hired hands there. That much I found out. If you find the stone, please bring it back to me. I'll make sure you're well rewarded. You have my word. I was the one who found it, so by rights, it's mine. It was destined for me. To mess with fate would only bring bad luck and misfortune.
Look, I won fair and square. But I still don't have that Thunderstone of yours in my hand. Truth be told, I'm feeling a little cheated. You could at least throw a dog a bone, eh?
Bollocks to that. You got your wager back, so don't be getting greedy now. And you barely won anyway. If you want anything more from me, bring me back my Thunderstone.
You're right. Enough of this.
I'm glad we see eye to eye. No point in making a mountain out of a molehill, I say.
You're not wrong. Tell me, how did you come by the stone in the first place?
That's a secret.
Well, if you came by it honestly, why be so secretive about it?
I'm not hiding anything. I'm just not one to brag, that's all. And until it's back in my hands, I don't want to talk about it.
No, I can appreciate that, but sharing a story isn't exactly bragging.
All right, then. I found it a couple of years back in a field outside Billany. On the way to Wizard the Quarry. You probably know the place. I was going to take a shortcut through the woods, but there'd been a hell of a storm about a week before. It tore off roofs, carried away some shepherds' huts, even toppled the tower on those fortifications at Kuttenberg, and it very nearly flushed us out of here too. A proper act of God it was. Well, the forest was a complete mess, so I couldn't go that way. So I decided I'd go through the field, and all of a sudden, I stumble over something. And what do I see? A Thunderstone right under my foot. Stroke of luck it was.
Welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
I need to find a Thunderstone, and I heard you might know of one.
Oh, yeah? Who told you that, then?
Thomlin over Horsham way told me you pinched his Thunderstone. You and some Hensel fellow. So you better come clean before I let Thomlin beat the truth out of you.
Fuck me! So Bruthan's made you his lackey? As if that stone hasn't caused enough trouble already.
Watch your tongue. I'm no one's lackey. And you, go on. What happened with the stone?
We fucked up. And all because of that stupid stone. I wish we'd never taken it.
So Thomlin was right. It was you. Where's the stone now?
I haven't the faintest. It was all Hensel's idea and he had it on him the whole time. And before you ask, no, Hensel's not here. Andrew is holding him captive.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm missing something here, and it's not just the stone. So tell me, what the fuck happened?
We wanted to butcher Andrew Ramhead's band of pillagers. But that's easier said than done. So Hensel got the idea that we could borrow Thomlin Bruthan's magic stone from him to help us fight them like. But Thomlin wasn't having it, so we filched it without him knowing. And then set off after those bandits. But everything went to shit. They caught Hensel and almost killed me and Stislav. So, you come a bit late for that fucking stone. Not that it brought us any luck anyway. If I were you, I'd give it up as a lost cause.
How did your assault go?
Hensel led the way. There was him, me, and Stislav. We wore padded doublets and took hunting knives and axes. Stislav had a bow too. We got within earshot when it all went to shit. Stislav stumbled and yelped. Then they noticed us. After that, everything happened so fast. We charged at them, Hensel up front with us behind. Arrows started raining down. They all missed Hensel, but I was shot in the arm. It hurt like hell. I was screaming and scared shitless. So I took to my heels. I met back here with Stislav. They chased him, but he being so lightly dressed and them in armour, they couldn't keep up.
How many of them were there?
I'd say 5, 6.
You went up against 6 of them?
Of course not. We waited for some of them to go on patrol. That left just 3, though heavily armoured they were. If we'd caught them by surprise, it might have worked.
Why did you want to kill them?
Why? To stop them doing mischief round here. We wanted to help the village. We could hide in fear and moan, or do something about it. And we also wanted to make a bit of a name for ourselves among the locals.
It was brave of you. You wanted to do the right thing. I would have done the same.
Not that it did any good, but thanks. All the folk here now take me for a fool. You're the only one to see it differently.
Where's Stislav, anyway?
I don't know. He was a bundle of nerves after what happened. Packed up and left. I've no idea where he went, and I don't blame him. I'm not exactly doing great myself. It really pissed Andrew off, and now he's even nastier to the villagers than before.
Who is this Andrew Ramhead?
A mercenary commander from King Sigismund's army. He's been ordered to guard the roads with his men. Or so he says. But apart from that, they also carry out raids, rob the people, mug merchants and steal cattle. And they make the peasants pay tribute. And of course, after our fuck-up, they've turned the screws and are demanding even more. Another reason for everyone round here to hate me. And ever since they torched the fortress, it's been wretched here, with no one to look out for us.
Where can I find this Andrew?
Are you fucking with me?
No. I'm sorry about what happened to you, but I badly need to find that stone. You don't just lose something like that. And from what you said, it seems I don't have much choice.
I'm telling you, that stone's cursed. Weren't you listening to me?
Can you hear yourself? You attacked a band of hardened mercenaries. Anyone else would have paid for that with their life, but not one of you was killed. Not to mention that this Hensel, the one with the stone, wasn't hit by a single arrow. But you were.
Sakura! I never thought of it that way. You know, you might be right.
You see? Now tell me where this camp of theirs is.
You'll come across some ponds between Raborch and Bohunjovic. Near one of them, there's a fork where wayfarers sometimes camp if they're stuck for a place to stay. From that fork, follow the water downstream, and you should find the ruins of an old mill.
And that's where they're holding Hensel? The one with the stone?
Yeah, there. But if I were you, I'd stay off the path. Take the hill and nip through the woods. You'll get to some rocks overlooking the mill. You'll have a bird's eye view of everything from there. That's the way we went too. But make sure they don't spot you. There's a good chance they've upped their guard after our attack.
Sound advice. Thanks.
Look, what's your plan anyway?
Well, I'm thinking if I can find Andrew, I'll find Hensel. And then I'll finally get to the bottom of this shit with the Thunderstone.
Just be careful, because Andrew's a cunning fucker. Look, since you're going there anyway, I know I'm not in a position to ask you for anything, but still, do you think you could rescue Hensel?
And how, pray, do you expect me to do that?
I don't know, just something. Because if you don't, I don't know who will. Andrew's a greedy bastard. Some coin might do it. Or you could sneak in quietly and slip back out with Hensel.
How about I just kill them all?
I thought best not to suggest that. You know how we ended up. But, you know, whatever you think's best. It's just, they're pretty tough and well armed, you know.
I'll manage somehow. But the whole thing's getting so messy, it's almost like the stone's power is interfering somehow. If I find a way, I'll help Hensel.
Thank you so much! May all the saints be with you, and I hope you have better luck than we did.
I apologize.
Easy, easy. Nice and slow. Go! Oh, go! Ka! Whoa, whoa.
What? Scram! Right now!
How well you get on with the commanders. Huh? The frog the best off dead.
What? Shut up! Huh? Such a naughty... Clear off! Scram! Right now!
What is it? Did you drop something?
I'm all yours! What do you want? Too slow? You're no match for us! Take that! You want to try me? I'm all yours. Take the fucker out!
Do it!
Hey! Thanks. Whoever you are, come on. Let's get the hell out of here. Not now. Not here. Not now. Not here. Not now. Not here. Let me get out of here first.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I am. All things considered. Thanks for rescuing me. You have no idea how grateful I am. God knows what they would have done to me in the end. All that aside, who are you, anyway?
Henry.
I'm Hensel, and I owe you big time, Henry. Though, in all honesty, I'm not sure why I was worth all that trouble. But grateful nonetheless.
Peter told me what happened.
Peter? Well, thank the saints for him. So he's safe and sound, is he?
In a manner of speaking. He got shot, but nothing serious.
What about Stislav?
From what I hear, Stislav made it out unscathed too. But what happened scared him so much he scarpered.
Sakra. At least he's alive. I was worried about them both. It's all my fault, you know. Oh, I dread to think what could have happened to him.
Listen, it wasn't exactly by chance that I ran into Peter either. I was looking for you in the village because of the Thunderstone you stole from Thomlin in Horsham, who, by the way, is royally fucking upset with you.
Well, I suppose I would be too if I were him. But I have to say, the whole Thunderstone idea was the stupidest I've ever had. It brought us no luck, no protection. Well, the opposite, in fact.
Let's forget that for a moment. What I really need to know is where the stone ended up.
You won't be surprised to hear. Ramed snatched it from me when I was captured. He didn't believe it had any powers, but he has a nose for money. That's all that matters to him. From what I heard, he sold it in Sukdal to some farmer's wife, I think he said, Mlada or something. Well, from the edge of the village.
Sakra. That stone really is cursed. Well, there's nothing for it. I'm off to Sukdal.
Hold your horses. That wasn't the only thing I heard. There's this pond below Raborsh, right? And on the bank, across from the village, there's a small crag. Somewhere around there, they hid some of their spoils.
Well, they hid it all right, but not well enough.
What? You filched Andrew's stash? Well, good for you. Serves the bastard right. I was going to cast an eye there myself, but I see there's no need to bother now. Well, thanks again for everything, and God be with you wherever you may go.
Scoundrel bragged to the whole tavern that he had the nimblest fingers in the land. And in the very same tavern, he was caught breaking into a cupboard and chests.
Not
he
your
tried
day,
to steal
eh?
the possessions of good people. But when
What did
he
you
saw
do?
a watchman, the
Nothing.
coward tried
Really?
to flee.
Were you
But he
expecting
was
a
caught
different
when he
answer?
slipped on some
What if I
gum
freed you?
and had a
I'd
very
scalp her,
nasty
obviously.
fall. So here you have him,
So
the
you don't end up
nimblest
here
fingers
too.
far and wide. But he ended up in the shit. Let this thief be a warning to you all of what happens when you steal other people's property. God's law and the law.
Welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
I heard you bought a Thunderstone from Andrew Ramhead. Is that so?
Well, it is. What's it to you?
Andrew Ramhead took it from Hensel from Raborsh, who in turn stole it from Thomlin Brookhans down Horshan way.
And? I don't know those people. Even if it's true, I knew nothing about it. I bought the stone fair and square, and for good money. My husband's gravely ill and nothing's helping. The stone is to heal him.
And what ails your husband?
Peter went to lie down one afternoon and he hasn't budged since. He's not eating, and he's barely talking to anyone. What's worse, soon after he took ill, a Minerva owl perched on the roof one evening.
A Minerva owl? I assume that doesn't bode well, does it?
No, not at all. An owl on your roof means death is closing in. That's why I need the stone. If it weren't for the stone, I'm sure Peter would be gone by now.
So am I to understand that if your husband heals, you won't need the stone?
Well, a stone like this is a precious thing. It can still protect us from all manner of misfortune.
But you bought it to save your husband.
That may be, but I'll not be wanting to lose that stone.
How about this? I'll try to help your husband, and if I succeed, you'll gift me the stone.
Why would I do that? The stone is bound to help him.
What if the power of the stone brought me here to help your husband?
I hadn't thought of it like that.
So, how about we make a deal?
All right, but only if you help him.
Of course. I'll take a look at him and see what I can do.
And please hurry. With that owl and everything, I'm quite sure the Reaper's nearby. You'll find Peter in his room.
All right. I'll take a look at him and see if there's anything I can do. It's usually a good idea to speak to others who are close to the sufferer. That may be able to explain a few things, especially if the patient himself isn't very communicative.
Aha. I see you really have done this before. I'm starting to believe that stone really did draw you here. So, ask around on the farm if you need to. We'll all be at your service.
Perfect. I'll get on with it. And I'd better check the whole room, just in case.
Do whatever it takes to help Peter.
Can you think of something that might help me healing? Anything?
I can't. I'm desperate myself. I've tried just about everything. Peter is just an ordinary cooper. We've lived here for years. We go to church. My husband doesn't travel outside the village often. This last time he had some business in Pechgau, near Golin, but he came back empty-handed. Breathless and confused. He was fumbling around here for a few days, not doing his job, just spending time in his workshop. Lord knows what he was doing in there. Then he went to bed, and since then, he's just been lying there. He doesn't eat. Not even the potions are helping. He doesn't sleep a wink at night. At least, I don't think he does. If I stopped sleeping too, our homestead would fall apart.
I'll ask him why he can't sleep. What's tormenting him?
Try that. He won't speak to me about anything. It's as if he was keeping secrets from me. Or maybe just protecting me from something. Greetings, sir.
Peter, my name is Henry. I'm here to help you.
Another poor bloke that's to deal with me. As if Mlada didn't have enough on her plate already.
I'll try to figure out what's wrong with you. Don't be alarmed. I need to take a closer look. Let's see. No swelling. No cancer on the skin. Does this hurt?
Nothing hurts.
Your palms are cold. Your muscles are tense. And your heart's pounding so hard you could hear it all the way to Prague. You seem like you're ready to fight. Or flee.
They're getting close now.
Who is?
The soldiers. Sigismund's men.
Well, physically, you seem fine, Peter. It's strange.
I'm a weakling. A weakling.
I'll examine you. Just by eye. Pale skin. Dark circles under the eyes. A downcast expression on the face. I don't see any bruises. A few calluses and cuts on the hands. Nothing unusual for a craftsman after a hard day in the workshop.
I told you. I'm not in any pain. Just let me lie here.
Irritability. No foul odour. Bodily humours aren't leaking. And you aren't bleeding.
But I will, when Sigismund's horde gets here.
Why would Sigismund attack Suchtal?
He does as he pleases. You have no idea how many villages he's plundered already.
I reckon attacking a village protected by a fortress is the last thing Sigismund would want to do now.
The fortress is what's bothering him. That's why he'll destroy it. And us with it.
I don't know about that. What are your nights like? Mlada said you don't sleep much.
I just stare at the wall. I try to sleep during the day. But it's not much better.
Well, it's certainly no fever or pain that's ailing you. I assume it's dark thoughts that keep you up at night.
I can't fall asleep. Because of all the noblemen who keep coming to Lord Pisek's fortress. I'm always hearing hoofbeats. And they startle me.
So Lord Pisek likes to host nobles at his fortress? What's so unusual about that?
And what do you think they're doing here, eh? Preparing for war. That's what.
If Lord Pisek was about to go to war, he'd be gathering a lot more men here than a couple of nobles.
Folk ought to be scared to leave the village. Mezoles is gone. And when I saw Abatovitz, Suchtol is next. I'm sure of it.
What am I going to do with you, Peter? There's nothing wrong with you physically, so it must be an ailment of the soul. The chamomile decoctions will help calm your mind, but you'll have to change your diet as well, so you don't just drink potions. And last but not least, some words of encouragement wouldn't be amiss. You'll be back on your feet in no time. I'll get things ready and be back soon. Peter, let's talk about how we can help you. I have some suggestions for treatment.
I'm listening.
You should drink the chamomile decoction. If you wait a while, I'll get some for you. Wait a moment. I examined Peter. His body is fine. But he's plagued by a crippling restlessness of soul.
What are we going to do about it? How do you heal the soul? A cold compress? Prayer?
Prayer certainly won't hurt, but don't worry. There are several things that could help Peter. Making the chamomile decoction is important. It's made of wine, chamomile, and sage. You boil them briefly together and strain it. It's not hard, and even if you don't do it exactly right, it'll still help Peter.
Would you bring him some? Before I learn to brew it?
I'll get everything. Just keep at it, and don't give up.
Very well. But hurry. I'm worried about what's going on in his head. And that he'll do something to himself the Lord can never forgive. Greetings, sir.
Peter, it's me again. I want to discuss your treatment. You should drink the chamomile decoction.
Great. Another potion.
This one will help you sleep. Once your body gets used to sleeping at night and staying awake during the day, you'll feel much better. You'll see. Proper sleep will chase away the gloom. And if restlessness tries to take hold of you again, your body will have the strength to fight it. Every morning you'll be stronger and stronger until you're able to work again.
We'll see about that.
You need to start eating again, even if you don't have an appetite. First, ask Mlada to get you some honey and add it to your gruel.
You think some honey is gonna save me?
It'll give you stamina without irritating your stomach, first of all. But you have to admit Mother Nature has it well thought out. Where bloodwort helps with bleeding and feverfew with fevers, honey coats your humours so that they can't get out of balance so easily. Any melancholia wanting to take hold of you would have to make its way through thick honey, so it could hardly get from your stomach to your head. And soon you'll be as busy as a bee again, and getting on swimmingly. Which brings me to my next piece of advice. Start eating fish more regularly. Some nice fatty ones, ideally. Fat in the belly will surely stop gloom from getting through. Same as with the honey.
I suppose that makes sense.
Listen, Peter. I know you're worried about the army that's set up camp over the hill. That's why I'd like to tell you something from the heart. If you're scared of Sigismund's soldiers, trust me when I tell you. When you're caught between a rock and a hard place, there's no shame in running. It doesn't make you a coward. On the contrary, you're smart enough to realise there's nothing you can do. You can always come back later when you have the advantage and deal a bigger blow to the enemy.
I just want Mlada to be safe.
Then keep reminding yourself of that. Look at me, a blacksmith's son. Why do you think I am who I am now? Because I realised I'd be of no help to my friends and family if I die for some foolish sense of honour.
You're right. I can't leave Mlada in this alone.
Don't be afraid to see the bigger picture. Even of the things you're worried about right now. A bit of prayer won't hurt. Lord, have mercy on Peter here, and lift from him the weight of his affliction. For you have laid upon him this affliction to try him. And you see that Peter, O Lord, endures your trial patiently and without contradiction. Unless you, O Lord, relieve Peter of his illness, no physician in the world can. I beg of you, O Lord, heal his soul and let his body once again find its lost balance. Amen.
Amen.
Well then, I've tried my best, and I hope it's helped at least a little. I'll come back in a few days and see how you and Mlada are doing. I examined Peter, found out what I could, and tried to cure him. I'll come back to see you in a few days. Until then, it's hard to say how things will turn out.
Thank you. I'll pray for you and for Peter's recovery.
Besides praying, don't forget about the chamomile decoctions.
I won't. Thank you very much, Henry. I hope things turn out all right. See you later, my friend.
I found the Thunderstone.
Really? Oh, God bless you, Henry. Without the stone, I don't know what I would do. Or what else could help me.
Well, you don't have to worry about that now. Take the stone. I hope it helps you.
Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. This stone will make giving birth easier and save my baby's life.
Glad to have been of service.
I'll get Hannah to give you a lower price at the stud farm, as I promised. And you know what? I'll share a piece of wisdom my grandmother taught me. She said you need to brew nightshade with twice as much mugwort and a good splash of brandy. That's how to fix a concoction that'll clean you out at both ends and cure all sorts of ills. She used it on me after I gave birth and said it saved my life. So it could come in handy for you too sometime.
Thanks. That sounds, let's not say dangerous exactly, but definitely fascinating. I'll just make a quick note so I don't forget. Not sure I'll ever muster the courage to try it, though.
Think nothing of it. And if you want, stop by and talk to my husband, Demir. He's a very skilled man. And since you've been so helpful, if you like, perhaps he'll let you in on some of his blacksmithing secrets. Oh, and I also have some money put aside for emergencies, so you can have that. It's not much, but it's all I can give you.
Hold on to your money. I'm sure it'll come in handy for you at some point. I was glad I could help. So let's leave it at that.
Oh, Mother Mary. What a noble man you are. Thank you.
I found that Thunderstone.
Really? That's bloody brilliant! I thought I'd lost it for good, to be honest. But it seems to have found its way back to me after all. Which just goes to show I was meant to have it.
Well, perhaps there's some truth in that. Here you go.
Hey, thank you so much. I won't forget this. And I promise to reward you. I can give you some of the coin I put aside from my fights. Or I can show you some wrestling feints and holds if you want. You know, it was a close fight last time.
Wrestling moves, you say? I'm all ears.
Well, listen carefully then. And be ready to take it all in. That's it. I hope you got it. Just remember, once you engage, you can't stop attacking as long as he's on his feet. Give him a moment to get his bearings, and you're asking for trouble. Take that to heart. And thanks again for returning stuff. You did the right thing. God be with you, Henry.
I found that Thunderstone.
Really? That's bloody brilliant! I thought I'd lost it for good, to be honest. But it seems to have found its way back to me after all. Which just goes to show I was meant to have it.
Well, actually, I've decided to keep the stone.
You what? You can't do that. I found the stone. It was meant for me. Keeping it won't do you any good. It belongs to me.
Now it belongs to me. If it wasn't the stone's will, you wouldn't have lost it, and I wouldn't have claimed it.
Damn you to hell!
You know, about that Thunderstone, I've changed my mind. You were right. The stone is rightfully yours. Here you go.
Well, I fucking never. I thought you bailed on me, but you didn't. Thanks a lot, Henry. This is the right way to go about it. You've done a good thing. And I promise to reward you. I can give you some of the coin I put aside from my fights. Or I can show you some wrestling feints and holds if you want. You know, it was a close fight last time.
I'll take the money. Thanks, Thomlin.
The thanks are all mine. Like I said, it's best not to trifle with a Thunderstone. It's a good thing it's back with me.